May I explain the episode 16 curse?
You may.
Yes.
So this is attempt number 4 at recording this, I think. So attempt number 1, we came in with the whole thing in the balance. The set system that we hadn't explained before and will now explain for a third time. So we're playing a system similar to tennis, but with 3 players, because that's how tennis works. Whereby the first to 6 wins the set, and then we move on to another set. It's a beautiful system. Going into the first time we recorded this episode, Jevan was on 5, I was on 4, and Oliver was on a much smaller number.
1.
Which I can't remember. 1. That is the
one.
See, I was
Yes.
technically correct.
Yes. I mean, that's also worth mentioning, is that my scores have now been detached from the guest scores. Why is that?
Oh yeah, Oliver is here now.
He
that's,
is.
That's worth mentioning first.
That's
isn't
also
it?
happened within time. Yeah, we've lost Anderson. He's not dead, but he's stepping down from being a regular on No More Spinnahhs as his commitments with work are massive. So we wish him all the best. He'll return as a guest at some point, I'm sure, and I have plans for him to return perhaps at Christmas.
So instead, we brought in a tax-dodging student who's got nothing better to do. Hi, Oliver!
I mean, you're not wrong.
I mean,
On any
you're
case.
not specifically tax-dodging. All
No.
students are.
Yeah.
Or at least that's what I was constantly being told through my 4 years at uni. So, hello, Oliver. I'm now going to carry on because this is the 3rd time we've done this.
I've just realised
Off you
I'm
go.
the only one now of the regulars who hasn't been to university.
That was recording number 1. It was 5, 4, 1. And who won that first one? I don't even remember.
You did.
You won that first one.
I did, yes, and that brought it to 5-all, which put us in a tie-break situation,
It did.
whereby using tennis rules, just getting to 6 now wouldn't win it for Jevan or I. We've got to get on to 7
Win by
with
2.
the others still on 5, or whatever, to be leading by 2. That would then
Yeah.
be the end of the game. So that happened. That was fantastic. Great drama, exactly what we wanted for the series.
Mm-hmm.
And the recording didn't work properly.
Yeah, no, OBS.
So we went again.
OBS kind of shut the bed, and so on that go, you two were being recorded, but my audio didn't work.
So we went, that's fine, this sort of thing happens. It was an important match in the game, so we were just going to come back in and say, sorry guys, we lost this one, this is where the scores are. We're coming back in a tie-break situation.
Yes.
We recorded a normal game, which Oliver won, therefore not
did.
really changing the overall picture at all. It was an excellent game, and we had another recording problem.
Yes, this
This time, Jevan, we had you, but not us, didn't we?
Correct. So we could have spliced it
Because
together.
we had the best intro to that episode of anyone.
And I think,
Which-
just for the benefit of everyone, we're going to put it in anyway. It's going to be the post
It's
credit
over
for this
there.
one.
Oh, it's going to be the postscript.
It's going to be the post credit.
As long as we still get to use it for the thumbnail, it's fine.
Yeah.
So that was game number 2. Again, very frustrating, but these things happen when you record stuff. It's fine. And we're kind of thinking, episode 16, bit cursed, lol. Let's carry on. We arranged a time to go again. Someone else can explain this one if they'd like.
Yeah. So game
Because I
3.
don't want to.
Game 3, we planned to record last night, which would have been Sunday the 27th of September, and Ryan got a little text message saying that his little kitten, who you'll get to see at the end of this episode, was feeling unwell, and they were going to bring him home. So Ryan might have had to drop out for a minute, just make sure everything was okay, and then join us again. Unfortunately, that then led to a trip to the vets, as Ryan's kitten was really not well, and had to spend the night over in a vet's. Happily,
Yes.
little kitty cat is perfectly fine.
Yeah, less than 12 hours later, he was absolutely fine. But there was a quite lengthy period where he was very not fine. So recording did not happen. So here we are.
What we did
The
do,
cat is downstairs and in good spirits.
we've
If anything happens to him during this, I'm blaming you two.
okay. I'd blame the recording
Beware of
myself.
that.
I mean, should we just call this one episode 17?
No.
Just skip over
No.
episode 16.
No, we must fill the
Avoid
gap.
So, When we first re-recorded, we were calling the one before game 15.5. But now it needs to be like 15. Now, which way? I'm the other way around on your... Yeah, so it needs to be like 15, 15.3 recurring, 15.6 recurring, and now game 16.
Yeah.
Just to keep the continuity on YouTube. So coming into this, it is Jevan on 5, me on 5, Oliver on 2. Are we doing the special thing?
I think we should
do the special thing.
because I've already written it down on the post-it notes, which have become rainbow as well. That's something else that's changed. Rainbow post-it notes.
So, in the interest of brevity for this set, keeping it nice and short,
Yeah.
we have decided that this game is double points.
Yes, and
So
therefore...
if Jevan or I win this, it is set over. If Oliver wins it, we probably just do this again until he probably bloody wins, knowing him. To justify it being double points, we are each playing with 2 lives.
Yes.
So we've still got the normal number of challenges, but we will have to be knocked out twice in order to actually be out.
Yeah, so this is probably going to be quite the bumper-length game.
It probably is. We did play it, we trialled it on Discord, which was a bit of a mess, but was a really good fun game.
It was a mess because we weren't taking it seriously.
Yeah,
to be fair.
and it worked really well. So if it goes wrong, it's Oliver's fault because he wasn't there.
I reckon this will only go 5 turns longer than it would if it was 1 life each.
I don't
you're
think it...
probably
Because-
not wrong.
The deeper you get into the game, the harder it is to name something anyway.
Yeah. The other caveat to this rule set is that if you are called out on a challenge, like, so if you are challenged correctly on the category you've just given, you have to find another robot with the same category you have just said. So, for example, if I were to say bullfrog robots associated with us, and that broke a rule, I would have to find another robot that's associated with us 3 that isn't also breaking a rule. And if it does break a rule, I'm out. So
I forgot about that spicy little
yeah,
detail.
it's a little caveat that makes all the spicy difference.
It's basically a spicy name another. That's what it is.
It's a name another with gravitas. At
Not
least
0 gravitas.
At least 1 gravitas. I was going to say.
I mean, I was going to say that depends on the category.
I think with that, all of our explaining of everything that has happened is now on the table, and that's that. And we should start playing.
Excellent. It's been a lengthy start. I believe in game 15.6 recurring, I finished last by quite some margin.
Yes, it was me
I had
versus
a
Oliver
very
in the
bad
end.
day. Yeah, so that means I get to go first. And I'm going to honour the flavour of the month that may no longer be the flavour of the month when this episode comes out by saying suspension, no more robots that are sus, i.e. sus in their name.
Name another.
I like that.
Suspect device, a robot that I definitely didn't research to make sure I had a name another for this.
Where the hell has that come from?
It was the 2009 BattleBots Pro Championships, I believe.
Oh, hell.
Yeah. I can use Google.
Very good, very good.
Also, just to check, was the original episode 16 the one where I was still dying?
Yes.
Yes.
And I think I
So
was
now,
also
I'm fine,
dying.
and you're the one that's still dying.
Yeah, I'm nearly not dying now. Which is good.
That is
because
preferable.
I probably need to go back to work at some point.
If we think about it, we're all dying slowly, one day at a time.
Oh, God.
Entropy is inevitable.
Okay, I can't hold a straight face. Ryan can. Either that, or he's just been haunted.
Who's next?
He's acting pretty sus.
Good luck breaking that rule is all I'm going to say. 'Cause it took me a long time to find 2.
I'm going to say it's an oldie but a goodie. No, yeah, tsunami, and no more robots. that share names with song titles.
Susnami. It's a good category. It's a good category. I am going to go with a robot that Jev and I were actually talking about last night, which I didn't realise is getting a full rebuild, which is very exciting. Savage Toaster. No more household objects.
Okay. Based on the phonics lesson I taught this morning, I'm going to say Whiplash. No more silent letters.
Ooh.
And also based on Jevan's shout, to be fair, of Tsunami. That made me think of it.
Depends how you pronounce it, because I've always gone around pronouncing it Whiplash.
Whiplash.
I mean, I've always gone around pronouncing it Tasami.
Tasami.
I've always pronounced it One-Roo.
Oh, the memes. Right, okay. Ryan's definitely not still dying. Definitely.
I mean, comparatively, pretty healthy.
I'm going to go with Gamma 9. No more robots that have numbers as part of their name.
As in numbers written as numerals?
No more robots that have numbers as part of their name.
So we're talking about either as numerals, either as a whole word. What about hidden within a word?
No, I'm not looking to catch people out like that. What I will say is watch our versioning sub-rule. Because if Ryan?
Ryan?
This is not the time for a software update. Okay, so
just-
can you remind
just
me
to
of the
clarify.
versioning rules?
Yeah, so if a robot has had another version that had a specific number with it, then you're on shaky ground.
Just to clarify, if your robot's name is entirely numbers, is that considered part of or the entirety of?
You know, that's a maximum sin there. You've got numbers as part of your name. Like, the entire name is numbers.
Fair enough. Just to clarify.
It's just a check. Talking on things like versioning.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to check it. I just won't bloody say it. Because it's a really specific example.
Oh, okay.
Big play there, Jevan. Well done.
Had that one brewing.
Also, sorry, again on versioning, does it have to be specifically named by the show in their information graphics? Is it anything at all? I'm thinking
Ooh.
specifically Dietor 2 in Extreme was only ever referred to as Dietor by the show, but in their Extreme intro, they called it Dietor 2. I don't think that was
It was
ever
similar,
the name of it.
similar deal with Gabriel as well. A 2 was randomly added on for no apparent reason.
It was a completely different robot. I don't know what you're talking about.
Or is that just
Oh,
something
yeah,
we'll
sorry,
deal with
it
on a
went from
case-by-case
white to
basis?
slightly lighter white, didn't it?
And it also had Gabriel 2, like, printed all over its wheels. So,
See, even
When
though it
everyone
the
else was
same
adding
robot-
flags.
yeah.
Even though it was the same robot, I would class Gabriel 2
Well, no,
under
actually-
that rule because it was officially called that by the show.
As we've seen, it is actually a separate robot. I've seen both Gabriels at a live event, like within eye shot of each other.
Oh, fair enough.
Big
But-
sad.
Yeah, it is. It would still fall under the versioning because it was Gabriel 2. Dietor, I don't think I was aware of. I think
Well, like I say,
it's a case of if you
not
can
officially called that.
if you can find evidence of it being called it, then you can't lie with the evidence. So I would say, sure.
All right. Well, I think
Just
that would be
going-
quite controversial if it has to come up, but let's keep going.
Just going to say, this is worse than No More Heavyweights. Thank you. Because at least No More Heavyweights, I knew what robots were heavyweights.
Yeah. This is potentially a category that will
now
trip
if
me up.
Gary
as well.
down the road called them, Gabriel 3 at some point, now I'm out.
It's Oliver's turn.
It is my turn. I'm gonna use one category from the discarded dead games. Chomp-a-lot. No more lipo-fires.
Before we said in the arena, Are we still saying in the arena or just at any time? This is important information for me.
I mean,
He really wants to say straddle, doesn't he?
I think the answer is at any time that you can provide evidence for.
Oh, that's tricky.
Publicly released evidence, not necessarily just secret behind the stuff that you've got from a messenger chat that nobody else is going to know. If they've publicly talked about a lipo fire on any of their pages, then it's fine. But I feel like it's going to be very difficult to try and prove that. So most likely it will be ones that are in the arena if this rule comes into play.
Well, I'm now scared to name literally anything.
You've also got to remember, can we remember lipo fires that didn't happen in the arena?
I might also use one then that I used in one of the Dead games. I'm going to go for Stingray. No more robots that appeared in the very first episode of the show they were on.
Of course, Stingray being the yellow and red drum spinner from King of Box.
Yeah, the Weber team one.
Big up Weber team.
Oh, do I? Okay. Or do I save my challenges given that this is going to be a double kill game?
Wait, what challenge could you possibly have for that?
Speculative challenge. Stingray. Song title?
Ooh,
We've done song titles?
we have done.
I don't
song
even remember
titles.
that.
We have done song titles. Stingray.
I'm thinking of the theme
song that's
tune.
coming to mind. I'm thinking.
So
of the
when
theme
we've
tune.
done songs before, I think we've said you either have to be able to sort of name the artist with it or give us a lyric or tune of it,
Well, that's
rather
easy
than
enough.
just going, well, that's probably a song.
Oliver, do you want to take it away?
Stingray.
Is that actually what the theme tune was called, do you reckon?
I don't know.
Anything can happen in the next half hour. I think
Big sad if this
Barry
goes
Gray
through.
Orchestra is the artist.
I mean, it says Stingray, song by Gary Miller.
All right, fair enough.
I'm just needing to make sure that this is the same Stingray as the one you just sung.
I mean, it bloody well looks like it, looking at the YouTube thumbnail.
Big up the
Copyright.
Jerry
I'm sorry, but you
Anderson
actually
band.
missed out the drum
Copyright
intro, so my first life gone very, very early on.
Hey, if you're gonna lose a challenge over anything, it better be Jerry Anderson. Come on.
It better be, yeah.
The worst thing is that the other one I have sort of in the bank for that could also be a song. I've just got to trust that you wouldn't know the words to it. I will go instead, because it has matched the same category,
Yeah.
for Serious Business, which
Serious
Jevan is struggling to remember.
business. No, I know what Serious Business is.
That's okay.
Bugglebots, yeah?
I found out months after... Pointless bollocks, but I found out months after that I actually had a mutual friend with Bam who built it.
Oh.
Who knew that he built robots, knew that I built robots, but had never mentioned either to the other. Because, you know, there's so many people, it's just not really noteworthy in conversation, is it?
That's
Nah.
pretty sus.
Very sus. Serious sus business. How the hell am I down to life already? What's going on? So upset about that.
Is it me now,
No,
or is it Jerry?
No,
it's me.
it's Jevan. What up? It's Jevan.
Okay. I'm going to say Captain Jack Spinner. No more robots that share the same amount of syllables in at least two of its names, or two of its words of name. So in this instance...
Challenge.
Oh, okay.
Carry on.
In
No,
this
carry on,
instance,
carry on.
No, go on.
Captain and Spinner.
Challenge.
Yes.
The H is silent.
I was going for that as well.
Oh, bugger. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Spinner.
Spinner.
Well, no, the way you pronounce it is spinner.
I will give you the fact that having the H there changes the pronunciation slightly from spinner.
Yeah, it takes it from an sound to more of an sound.
Spinner. If it's
You are not.
You might not be.
Yeah, H.
You might not be, but the way it was written was intended to replicate the voice person who introduced the robots in Modern Robot Wars, who very much would go spinner. And there is a definite.
Yeah, but that's still not a sound.
It is spinner.
Which is the sound in H. Spinner. Which would then have the H sound in the wrong place.
Yeah, you're putting an H in the wrong place. Spinner.
Yeah, because I'm trying to make an H actually fit in there. Spinner.
You're spinner.
That's not an H sound. I don't know. Do we need adjudication on this? Do we?
I think we might do. I mean,
I'm going to listen to all the spinners of Robot Wars.
Well,
that's not going to tell us how they're spelt.
Given
actually, can tell us how they sound, which is the key issue here.
Given that the person who created that video was Sam Elliott, I think he might be the go-to authority.
He's the authority.
Yeah.
Do you pronounce the H in spinner?
Ask the whole chat.
Just say, do you pronounce the H in spinner?
Or is it silent? Just give them the two options.
I now can't find the video.
I could be really pedantic and also claim that either the C or K is. But that would be a very harsh interpretation of a silent letter.
Yeah, no.
That would be like saying that like one of the T's in a double T or one of the L's in a double L is silent. Which is technically true. Here's the question, Oliver. What if someone answers and answers wrong? Do we still accept it? Like, if we had, say some crazy person decided to introduce a rule of no more robots that rhyme with scone, and then Ned, decided to weigh in on that, we wouldn't believe him, would we?
No. What I would say is...
So we should only select people who are right on this matter.
What I would say is... So, the way that Spinner is written in Robot Wars is always written S-P-I-N-N-E-R. The way it's pronounced is that spinner. Where would they have got the H from had it not been intended to be there?
I think it's a very intuitive way to spell how it sounds. I'm going to check the exact sort of definition of silent letters. Because it might be that they have to be as part of a digraph, trigraph, or greater.
Yes, those are all words that we all understand.
It's really not dependent on dialect, Charlie. There is no dialect in this case. So if I were to finger talk this word, I'd be going s, I, n, r, which would usually be an AR. I don't think, but I'm certain that AH isn't a digraph for that.
You could just as easily write it as an AR.
But if you say R as in, I see, you write that as AH.
Which should really be not R, but...
Should, but it's not. And it never has been.
If it was spelt without the H, it would have to be spin-a.
Yeah.
The H being there does change how we pronounce it.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
So in that sense, it's not necessarily a silent letter. It's still impacting pronunciation. Normally when we have silent letters, it's either as part of a digraph, like WH is just W, not WH.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's something like the T in listen, where it's just completely gone. It doesn't change anything around.
Like, nice.
So on that basis, I'm happy to trot Yeah,
It
KN as well.
Specifically in listen, it would change the pronunciation if you took it out. You would
Listen.
probably say it like Lyson.
No, the. I suppose it does technically.
Yeah,
It adds clarity about whether that's a split vowel digraph or not.
it does. That's exactly the terminology that I'm looking for.
But
I don't
that
think
isn't
that applies
necessarily needed.
No. I don't think that applies to the word spinner, which, let's face it, is a made-up
No.
word.
Yeah, that
It
doesn't
is a
help.
made-up word.
I'm willing
That
to
does-
drop
I'm really
the challenge on that basis, and I'm upset that the people will not get to see the full time that took. They are not upset, but I am.
Anyway, you've dropped the challenge. I'm safe. I'm home and dry.
I've dropped the challenge even though I believe it's correct.
I still
I've dropped the
believe it's
challenge
correct.
just because we have to make a decision here.
I mean, I had another example that I was going to use that would have got me off scot-free, but there we are. I'm not going to use it now.
I would have got you off scot-free, it would have lost you a life.
It would, but I...
Put us on even footing. Take away half a life.
I do honestly feel that might be like a Half-Life situation.
Is it Half-Life, but the AI is self-aware? Hello, Gordon!
Right, it's me.
I guess it was worth it just for that, wasn't it?
Yep.
Talking of scot-free, I am going to go with PP3D and No More Robots from Scotland.
Challenge.
I'll let Jevan have this one.
PP3D has a number very clearly as part of its name.
So it does, yeah.
But is it a silent number? Here's a thought. What if a robot is wrong for 2 reasons? Is that 2 lives gone?
No, it's just you've really got him. Why, what were you going to say?
No, I wasn't. It just occurred to me
Okay.
that there could be something else wrong with it.
All right, I need another robot from Scotland then,
You
don't
do.
I?
You really do.
Corkscrew.
Orc.
Corkscrew's all one word.
Ooh.
It's all one word.
It is a one.
Yeah, but it's multiple sounds, is my point. I was doing the phonics, not the syllables.
Oh, I see. Just trying to think about Corkscrew now.
I mean, it's a great song, isn't it, Corkscrew? I've always enjoyed it. I spent so long talking about silent letters, it's all I can think of.
Yeah.
I feel like there's nothing wrong with saying...
This statement has always gone well in the past, hasn't it, Ryan?
That's exactly my worry now. And I've got spice hiccups from my dinner as well. It's not fun. There's probably some really old country song called it, but I'm already beyond caring. Bale Spear.
Good shout, good shout.
And
No more chonky tyres. Like thick off-road style tread on tyres.
okay. Name another. I can think
I
of 2.
believe... Actually, easy one would be Sergeant Bash.
Yeah.
I was going to risk one that I wasn't sure about, and I was like, why would I do that?
Yeah, I don't think I can challenge you on for that one. I think that within that you're safe. You're safe.
Challenge.
Oh, or not.
Bale Spear. Two words that have the same amount of syllables.
Yeah, and I was checking so many ones that I was going to come out with for that, and then that happened. I have had very little sleep. But what I do have is a little bit of dinner left.
Enjoy.
Oh man, this is a repeat of last time as well. This is horrible.
Wait, I'm hoping that the
The odds
recording's
are
working.
against me now.
I mean, I wouldn't mind, you know. Oliver, save me.
I'm gonna try.
It's my turn.
It is your turn.
You're welcome to just have a go, you know. Free turn. Have a free turn at any time.
I mean, I wouldn't have challenged him.
I'm going to go with Big Brother. And say no more semi-finalists.
Okay.
Tempted by a speculative. I feel like it's very wrong. It's very wrong. Very, very wrong. As you were.
I'm enjoying the fact that you didn't say the key word there, so it doesn't count. Tempted by a speculative.
I'm a clever boy when I'm not in the game anymore.
All right. Dead blow. No more video game robots.
You've sort of thrown me there. I'm guessing Dead Blow appeared in one of the BattleBots games.
It did appear
Right.
in the BattleBots Game Boy game, I think.
Cool. I was going to say, I was very confused for a minute there and I thought I'd imagined Grant Imahara and everything, but...
No more robots that have appeared in a video game, be that official merchandise or original creations in a video game.
Ooh. That takes out the pack, doesn't it?
It does.
Just realised I should have challenged Big Brother on the basis of the TV show theme tune.
I don't think the theme tune is called Big Brother, though.
I don't fucking care. I'd have still done it.
I did wonder if that was one, but I thought that was too speculative for me.
I'm going to challenge.
You are?
I am.
On grounds of...
Dead Blow appeared in the first televised BattleBots event. Which would be the first episode of... It's whether you count 1999 as...
You see,
I mean, I think the specific wording of that challenge was first episode of the series.
yeah.
BattleBots live
Or
event.
of the show, I said. For me, the key thing is episode.
Yeah.
A pay-per-view to me is not an episode. It does not form
Was
part
1999
of an
pay-per-view?
episodic series. I mean, I don't think it was a series.
It wasn't a series, but
I think it was just like VHS tapes. or
I
something.
would class it as a pilot, potentially.
But that's not... If it's not
Pilot
aired
is
as an
different.
episode, it's not an episode.
Yeah,
It's a reasonable idea for a challenge.
I'm gonna
But I
look
think
it
the
up.
wording of the rule and the definitions of those words kind of knocks this one on the head.
Yeah, it's like if I said, I don't know, beta. Would you then challenge me on the fact that that was in the Robot Wars pilot?
Right, so
I think,
it says...
I think we would look at the reboot, particularly. We'd look at Carbide,
Well,
terahertz as the ones being in the first episode.
Yeah. This is saying...
And for the record, I would count reboot as a fresh start.
Yeah,
Yes,
so would
yes.
I.
For both
think that was the
Robots and
wording of the
BattleBots.
challenge
We discussed that last time, but forgot to this time.
It says here, Long Beach 1999 BattleBots event was the first competition sanctioned by BattleBots.
Okay, but does that make it an episode? That's like saying whoever fought at Battle in the Borough was in the first episode of Battle in the Borough.
See, Battle in the Borough is quite episodic because they released it that way.
Bad
did
example.
release it
Basically,
that way.
I couldn't think of a really new event other than that.
Okay.
Well, I think again another good example would be like maybe the King of Bots Feather event. I know that did happen after the first series had aired, but had that happened before, I wouldn't be counting that as.
Yeah, I
Basically, every series is a live event, but not every live event is a series.
yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It does say here the tournament
And
was
episodes have to form part of a series.
the tournament was broadcast online, so it wouldn't form part of a TV series or because the series was television based. So I'll
If it
let
had been
that
done
slide.
in an episodic format like Bogglebots or even Battle in the Borough, I'd maybe take.
Yeah.
I'm happy to spend a challenge on that one. I think it was worth it.
I thought you were going to try and claim it was 2 words with equal numbers of syllables.
No, I know that
No.
it's one word from the first time we brought it up back in game 1.
Yeah, the first time. That was a fucking ordeal.
Cool. I'll move on then. So what was the category on that one? Sorry, Oliver.
No more video game robots.
That was it. Yeah. Cool. Now I'm gonna have to tread lightly, aren't I?
I mean, you sat down, so I don't see why.
Black Rabbit. No more robots with 4 wheels or more.
Okay.
I mean, the more than would have been pretty nice category. 4 or more.
I'm closing this net.
Well, I'm not going to give you time to think about it. Apollo. No more robots that finished in the top 4 of a televised competition.
Challenge.
Go for it.
It was in the latest revision of the pack.
Not officially. It
I mean,
wasn't.
officially, it was part of the pack that has been released. Officially, people own Apollo as a robot on RA2. Officially.
Unfinished.
But it's still a
Unfinished
video
version.
game robot.
And I think if you go to the latest edition of the pack and try and download it, I think the link has been updated to remove those robots.
But if I have it in a video game and can find evidence of me having it in the pack, it is a video game robot. You did say of people's creations as well.
I did, but the implication there was ones that you could go out and purchase, and just a replica that somebody has made. And you may well be right, you can get Apollo, but if I go to the latest version of the pack and I download it now, if Apollo is in there, I'll give it to you and you win. If it's not in there,
Then
I'm gonna stick to my guns.
If I load up my version of the pack, I know for a
I'm not
fact
counting
Apollo
your
is in
version.
there.
I'm counting a version that you are able to get hold of.
I'm
Just
going to
because
look on
somebody
the
is sent around.
I'm going to look on the Good Rebuttal Facebook page because I think he's published that one as well.
Again,
See, I have
has
a
to be available.
fairly, I
Because
have
I
a good
think if you
argument against Oliver's point, but I don't want to make it.
Well, this thing is,
Strategically, I don't want to make it.
if what I'm saying is, if you start including things that game robots that you are unable to get hold of, not that you're unable, like replicas that you're unable to get hold of, then you are then including any replica that anybody has ever made of a robot.
But you said
In
including
a
replicas,
video
and I
game.
said, "Oh, that takes out the pack, doesn't it?" And you said, "Yes, it does."
Yes, it does take out the pack because the pack has had a release, and people are able to get hold of it.
But people have
If
been
people
able
are
to
still
get
able-
hold of Apollo because I have it on my version of the pack.
The thing is, as far as I understand from Charlie, putting it in was a mistake, and I don't know if you're still able to get hold of it. I'm going to download the latest version, Hogwarts 2019 RA2 expansion, and if Apollo is
Which
in
everyone
there,
at home also should.
yes, they should.
Oliver, while you do that, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions.
Go for it.
How much do you know about the early Pokemon games?
Not much.
Fuck. Well, I'll ask the question anyway. Have you ever heard of Missing No?
Nope.
So it's a glitch Pokemon that you can catch.
Right.
Is it in the game or not? It's not meant to be there.
But it's there.
If you can catch it, it's in the game, right?
Potentially. However,
Alternatively, there is a Pokemon in the game, Mew, a sort of mythical Pokemon,
I've heard of that
Which-
one.
was distributed to people at real life events. You had to go to the event, they would plug a thing into your Game Boy, and they would trade a Mew to you.
okay.
That means that now you cannot get that by legitimate means. Is that then not in the game?
The first one you mentioned, being a glitch, because it is unintentional, if that glitch had been patched out, I would not consider that in the game. If you can go out and buy a copy of one of the early Pokemon games and get that Pokemon, then yes, I would consider it in the game. And the Mew one is really... My gut says potentially yes. That it is in the game. But again, that was an official release.
Because basically, I think that between them, they are analogous. So you've got this
Between them-
idea of something
between
that's
them
not
they
meant to be
are.
there, but you can get.
But again,
And
it's
something
one of
that
those-
is there that you can get, but not anymore. I feel like it's kind of a combination of those
Again,
two things.
you will be
Again,
able
it's
to
two-
get it in
it's
the
two-
future.
It's
It's
two
been in the
half
game.
challenges.
It's been
But
in
you
the
cannot
game. and
currently.
you don't.
At,
Have you
at the
checked?
time of recording.
Devon, this
well, I'm
future
checking
thing is
out.
not a good
Okay,
line of
but have you
argument at
checked
all.
that you can't currently?
I am currently checking it. It is quite a big file, so it might take a bit of time.
Because while you're doing that, I might just load up my version of the game and play as Apollo. Do do do, I'm Apollo driving in the arena. Do do do, this is a game that has Apollo in it. Look at it flip. Look at it go.
That's not Apollo, that's Soaring Shell.
Don't you bring your Clashbot rip-offs to me. I mean, there was an easier way of checking. Just ask Charlie if it was in the latest update of the pack.
Yeah, why did no one say that?
All right, well there we go. That'll solve it.
No, it's already solved. I'm saying case closed, job done. The fact that Jevan can sit there and play it, for me, is enough to say bye-bye dreams of winning set one. Which is all I've ever dreamt of since I was a little boy.
That's all he's ever dreamt of.
That would be such a good episode title if we didn't already have the episode title.
He's
yeah,
replied,
it's
yes.
still in.
I think
Yes.
just the notion that we might have footage here of Jevan playing it and end up making the decision that no, it's not a video game robot is just no. Not gonna
hang
do
on.
that.
Like, it's in my personal pack.
hang on.
And it's in the one who got the Buggle pack on day one. There's a but. I sense there's a but. If they downloaded an update, it wouldn't be there. But it is in the pack, and some people do have it.
Yes, as proven by me playing as it in the
Some
pack.
hardcore nerds.
It's also going to be officially public in December.
Great. So all I've got to do is wait for this episode to come out until December, and
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to sit and wait here till December.
I've got time.
what are we saying?
There isn't really much going on in school right now. It's all pretty chill.
I'm saying that it's a good challenge because I can play as it in a pack that was released to the
Although-
general public.
Those who agree it is a good challenge, please raise your hand.
I do feel slightly cheated. And I feel it's about as valid a challenge as a silent H in Spinner.
That bit I do agree on, but luckily it doesn't really change the game.
But it wouldn't change anything because Jevan would still be on 1 life and I would be on none. And apparently it was in, somebody has done a YouTube series with Apollo in, because they clearly downloaded the pack day one. And given that my category, I don't know if I said it explicitly, but it was the implication in the category was Orcs Wars and Bashbots robots would be counted. I will hand it to you on those grounds.
And also on the grounds that I can play it as a robot in the video game.
Not on those grounds. No.
He's not letting go! Jevan, you won!
You won, mate.
Chill!
Doesn't
Chill!
matter how you won. I'm accepting that you won. This is going to be a sore point for quite a few games to come.
God, I'd hate to see either of you lose an election. It's not necessarily the way we would have liked it to end.
Winner of set 1.
How long are you going to go for? Just having a look around for a trophy, but I don't seem to have one to hand.
Well, that's no surprise, really, is it? That's one of the harshest things I've said on this whole thing. And I've said some harsh stuff.
Oh,
Well
Wow.
done.
that means I've now got to finish off watching all of the old episodes and going through for challenges so that we can do the end graphic. So who's the real loser here?
I mean, that was going to happen anyway.
At least we've got the post-credit scene to look forward to.
Yes. Bye.